Welcome to Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joined as always by my good friend Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby, let's go.
You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about all the news of wrestling. You can also follow us on social media. We'll be scrolling below. And interesting week this week, guys. Some very surprising releases by WWE. We've also got Money in the Bank. Fix my camera here for a second there. There we go. And we're going to be making our predictions for that. Going to give everybody a second here to get in here. Before we do that, let's go ahead and check in. Leg Kick was first. Said, "Hail the Wrestling Council! Hail Leg Kick! How you doing, brother? Hope everything's good." Big Daddy said, hey yo, Big Daddy.
Hey, yo.
Our times don't last, but bad guys do. All right. Guys, check out Big Daddy. Check out his channel. The guy's awesome. The original Learning Tree. Maldecito said, sup, people? What's up, Maldecito?
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up? Be careful going home, Maldecito. We know what you're like, dude. So, some real surprising things going on this week.
Where's Johnny B. Bad at?
He might be held up. I know Johnny's got a lot on his plate right now. For those of you that don't know, Johnny lives on a farm. He lives out in the boondocks. So he's often getting hammered and slammed by stuff. I think he's still a student too. So, kid's got a lot on his plate. So, he's also a really good artist. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of his stuff.
I need to step away for one moment, big man. Give me a second.
Yep, no problem, man. We're just gonna let everybody roll in here. Leg Kick said, I met Mark Merrill, really nice guy. I've seen him on a couple of shows every now and then, but I've never really delved into him too much. But he seemed like a pretty cool dude. Yeah, let's get funky like a monkey. Yeah, here you go. Hope we're both well. Yeah, this week's been good, man. Big Daddy said, hope everything's going okay with you guys. Hollywood and Bob. Yep, appreciate all the well wishes, guys. Wait for Frank to get back here, and then we'll continue on. But trying to remember any big stories that came out. Obviously, the releases are the big story. And then there's also a lot of speculation about more possibilities. And as to like who's responsible, what have you. I don't think it's as cut and dry as people think it is. But we'll see. We'll see. How about you guys? What do you guys? You guys all watch? Did everybody watch Raw this week? The go home show for Money in the Bank. See here, Maldecito said the good Mascara Dorado versus Hechicero main of Collision. Dude, AEW, as far as the in-ring action, everything's been currently concerned, has been much better this year. So hopefully that's an indication of them getting back on track. You back, big man?
I'm back.
All right, brother. The bad Truth not getting renewed. The ugly Carlito taking his PS5 with him on the way out. Poor Dom. Yeah, dude. It was just real shocking. But all right, guys. So before we get in any further than that, we'll go ahead and get into our favorite segment. A little something. Well, if I bring my thing up here, a little something we like to call. the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is an even number this week, so that is this man. I mean, it's odd number.
I was going, wait a minute.
No, I'm thinking about next week already.
Oh my God!
What you got for your GBU, my friend?
My good. The opening segment from AEW Dynamite with Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, it was good, man. That's something that we said really needed to happen. Is they needed to make it clear where they're going with these guys, and as well as like I said, those are three of the guys we said they need to build the core of the company around. So
yeah. And with the back and forth between Hangman and Will Ospreay, like neither one of them wanted to win. They wanted the other guy to win the Owen Hart Classic to go on and challenge for the title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that to me right there is just why I love those guys. I mean, Ospreay and Hangman. I mean,
yeah, I've seen some people say that they think that that's not a good thing.
It is a good thing
that they want. They're like, you should want to win, but it's been a lot of wrestling has been weird, Johnny. I agree, but as far as the in-ring action is concerned, I think AEW's taken a big step forward in the direction they needed to go. There's a lot of room to be for improvement, though. But yeah, it's like, it's just been odd. You know what I mean? So what's your ugly?
Sorry, trying to finish up.
No, you're good, man.
I tried ordering food for the family for B-Dubs, and the B-Dubs in Aurora doesn't have any food available for us. You feature a promo and you don't even have the promo available. That's nice. So you got to twist it around. The bad. Letting go of or not renewing the contracts of R-Truth, Carlito. Who else was talking about?
Sarah Logan, aka
Sarah
Valhalla.
Logan. And whatever's going on with Miz, with him taking WWE off of all of his social media.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows where that's going to go? But you had the guy in the main event at your Saturday night's main event, and now he's gone. Going to be gone from the company.
Mm-hmm.
I know R-Truth is older guy, but so now him and Jimmy are gone. Little Jimmy.
Yeah. And the thing is, like I said, I've never been a big fan of the goofy stuff, but he was legit the funny everybody doing funny stuff. He was legit the funniest thing in professional wrestling, man. He had such good comedic timing. Like, remember when he came out in the women's Royal Rumble by accident?
Yep.
And then when he was challenging, he was talking to Brock, and he's talking to, and then he says, "I will throw you over the top of that rope, Paul Heyman." So he figured out his niche, man. He figured out his niche. He was the comedy guy.
Yeah,
and then the way he would like mistake everybody for somebody else.
When he was speaking of that, when Triple H presented him and Miz new tag titles and called him Tommaso Ciampa.
I see right through you, Tommaso Ciampa. Big Daddy said, "My ugly for sure is Meltzer giving Anarchy in the Arena 5 stars. I'm basically done with today's wrestling with a few exceptions." Yeah, here's like the thing is, I accepted Anarchy in the Arena for what it was. Matches like that are never going to be good, but there can be some entertainment value in them. Like I recognize them for what they are, but to say that's a 5-star match is ridiculous. Yeah, Big Daddy. I never liked the R-Truth character, but give him credit for his longevity. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the goofy stuff, but he did it better. He pretty much did it better than anybody, and he found. It's like we say, like he found his niche. He found where he fit, and he filled that role to a T. So,
and there's good old Johnny. Talk to me about releasing when it's Logan Paul's turn.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll talk more about that because I've got some theories on all of this, but
and my ugly would be the move by Kyle Fletcher on Adam Cole on the ring apron.
mm-hmm.
Damn, the guy has head, neck injuries, concussion. Like dropping him the way he did on the ring apron, that could have gone bad so quick.
And I know that there are people. Some people are saying that was planned because if you look at the way it went down, he actually missed it. I don't know that I buy that. I think they 100% planned the move. I don't think it went off quite the way that they expected it to. I think he was supposed to do that move the way they normally do, where when you do that, you don't actually drop them on their head. You actually drop them on their shoulders. You drop them so that the top of their back takes the move, so they don't get hurt. Right. I think because you look at the way it happened, man, you could tell that it just didn't look right. So I think the whole idea, and everyone's like, no, you could see where his arm hits first. I think the reason his arm hit first, he realized he was too far out, and then he did that to protect himself.
Yeah.
But I think that it was still, even though it was probably a planned move, it was still a botch. So, and I agree with you, it didn't look good.
Yeah, as Johnny said, even if it was planned, it was a bad plan, and I agree. Like there's certain liberties you can take, but with somebody's neck and head who's had issues like that, no. Like even if they say, "Oh yeah, go ahead," you've got to be the leader and say, "No, I'm not going to do that to you."
Like I always say, man, sometimes you got to protect those guys from themselves. So it's a dangerous thing, and thankfully he's okay. There's nothing else came out of it. It was scary, and I definitely think it deserved the scrutiny that it got.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's my GBU, brother.
All right.
Your turn.
So my good is it's a couple of things. My good is I agree with you. I think the segment between Swerve, Ospreay, and Hangman was great. It was probably it was definitely the best thing out of AEW. And I think that's what they need to do more of. I really wish, I know that a lot of people give WWE crap for doing this. And I do think that WWE have a habit of doing this way too much during a program. But I think AEW would really benefit if they did like a quick 2 or 3 minute segment at the beginning of every show, giving everyone a recap of what's going on. But I think what they're doing with those three guys, because those three guys are definitely going to be part of their nucleus that they build around going forward. I really do think that the 5 people that AEW are going to build everything around going forward is going to be Ospreay, Swerve, Hangman, MJF, and Tony Storm. I think that's their nucleus, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I think that was really good. Me being a freaking, me being a New Japan guy, Best of the Super Juniors is done. Again, nobody does tournaments better than New Japan. Best of the Best of the Super Juniors is done. Fujita, Kyosuke Fujita was the winner, and he is the not only was it was a good tournament, but he is the youngest winner of the Best of the Super Juniors at 22 years old. Will Ospreay was the former youngest. He won it back in 2016 at the age of 23. But now Fujita will go on to challenge El Desperado for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. And it was awesome, man. Like I said, I know right now New Japan's in kind of a state of flux, but one of the things that I said they do better than anybody is freaking tournaments. So
yeah,
congratulations to him. New Japan's got a crop of young guys coming up that I think are going to do a lot of good. The bad. So Johnny said, "Hey, Darby made it to the top. If he survives the way down, he can be there too." Dude, I know that Darby Allin is seen as the heart and soul of AEW. I just don't see him as the guy.
No,
I just don't. But Mount Caesar said, "Remember, Rollins took out both Baylor and Sting with that move." Yeah, dude, like that. I've never been a big fan of that move. I can see if you know what you're doing and you do it right. I know that they can make it safer, but it's one of those moves that I'm like, one, it should be sparingly, and two, you definitely shouldn't be using it on a guy with that kind of history. So yeah, the new pillars. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I really do. And all of them are young. All of them are less than 35 years old.
yes.
Okay. You start throwing in people like Will Nightingale and Megan Bain. Megan Bain's 27 years old, dude. MJF is 29. They've got, Kyle Fletcher is 26 or 27. And then you got guys like Nick Wayne, I've been real high on that kid for a while, man. That kid's only 19 years old. They've got a huge crop of really young people. And if they keep cultivating them the right way, they could have megastars on their hands. They really could. So they've positioned themselves well as far as the talent to build around. Johnny said you can't know what you're doing on Buckle Bomb. You can't see where you're throwing the other guy. I think that there are, like, if you do it on the turnbuckle, the problem with the way the Seth did it to Baylor and Sting is, if you look at the way he threw them, he didn't throw the way you throw. You're not supposed to throw them. They're not supposed to land on their neck.
Right.
They're supposed to land. It's supposed to go across the shoulder blades. And it's kind of like, how Tony Storm does that hip check move. The way the person positions himself on the ground, when they take that hip check, it's actually supposed to hit them in the chest. Okay. Which, is it still going to suck? Yeah, it's going to suck, but it's a lot safer than the other way around. So I can understand them doing that move if it's done properly. But even if it's done properly, when you're doing it with somebody with a history, those kind of injuries like that, I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't think it's a good idea. And with his history of concussions and severe concussions, I'm not a fan of it. I said MGF is Happy Gilmore's son. I don't know why, but that makes me happy. Dude, apparently from what people are saying on the reviews of that, they're saying he's one of the funniest things in the movie too. So, but that's my bad. My bad was JR, we know he went in for surgery for his colon cancer. It went well. And Ric Flair posted kind of a weird comment.
Yep.
And a lot of people, when I saw it, I said, that's kind of a weird comment, but I didn't take it for him. To me, it seemed like he was being unserious. I know that a lot of people pointed it out, saying that there'd been heat between them for quite a while. My understanding is that in recent years, they kind of quashed that. So that thing went, and the way that Flair said this basically he said, talking like, yeah, good old JR, always trying to get attention for himself. Just focus on getting better, man. I thought that was Flair trying to be funny. And him being like, oh yeah, look at him. You're always trying to get attention. That's the way I took it. A lot of people took it the wrong way though. And then Flair came out and kind of sort of addressed it. Again, I don't think Ric Flair's very good on social media. He's another one of those guys that I think social media. Here's the thing about social media. Social media is both a boon and a bane to mankind. It's a boon because it's made it easy for people to communicate all over the world. The bane of it is it's a terrible replacement for long form discussion.
Yes.
Because it's too limited and it's too easy to misconstrue what people say. And I think that's what happened here. Admittedly, the way that he said that, it would be easy to misconstrue what he was saying. So there are just some people that shouldn't do social media, man, because they're not very good at it.
And the Nature Boy is not a stand-up comic, okay?
No, he's not. And so to his defense, he did say, like, listen, if you went and you listened to recent interviews I did, and I talk about JR, I think he's the greatest commentator of all time. He's on the Mount Rushmore, blah, blah, blah. So I do think that Flair was trying to be funny. I think he failed miserably, but the fallout from it was pretty ugly. So that's my bad. And my ugly is the reaction to these releases. So if you guys watched Raw, pretty much the common consensus for these cuts, these recent cuts, is everybody hates it. Everybody absolutely hates it. They basically hijacked the show, and multiple times during the night there were chants aimed at
Truth.
R-Truth. Yeah. And and again, we're going to talk more about this, but I really do think that this was a huge fumble for WWE. That being said, I think that's our GBU, and let's go ahead and just segue right into it and talk about it. Talk about why. Do you think Miz is next? I don't know. To be honest, let me see. How old is Miz? He's getting up there.
That's a good question. Do I think Miz is next? I could see it. It depends on when his contract is up. They're not just going to release him because, like, R-Truth, Sarah Logan, and oh my God,
Carlito,
their contracts were coming up.
Yeah,
and they didn't renew them. So I don't know when Miz signed the new contract, when it expires. So they're not going to release Miz because I think he still has some juice left, a la Bryan Danielson, and him going to can't get rid of Cleveland's only hero, your art. But
Cleveland's greatest export.
Yeah, but I think he still has something left in the tank, where him going to AEW like Bryan Danielson and Edge, they don't want that to happen.
Yeah. And I think from what I understand, his contract is good through the rest of the year. So he's got at least 6 more months. So Big Dave said, got to be honest, I don't like to see people lose their livelihood, but they get paid incredibly well and have had incredible longevity. Oh yeah, dude. And I think a lot of people were saying that a unlike a lot of people in that business who basically blow their money, from what I understand, Truth did a really good job of banking his cash. He did a really good job of investing and taking care of himself. So my understanding is that he's going to be fine.
Yeah, and the Miz is going to be doing the reboot of American Gladiators.
Right. He's got some irons in the fire.
The guy's Miz is a smart man from when he did that reality show when he was a kid, or not a kid, a teenager.
Oh, the Road Rules?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he turned that into his career.
To where he's at now. I mean,
yeah,
the guy's not hurting for money, so he doesn't need to wrestle ever again.
And Mal's right. He did what, 4 seasons of Ms. and Mrs.
Yeah.
He's done a couple of B movies. And he's another guy that really fit, like you said, we talk about guys who found their niche. He's another guy that found his niche. He was that guy that whenever WWE needed to get somebody over to put them in a quick match or to introduce them to the roster, he's the guy that they went with. Was he the best in the ring? No, but he was very serviceable and he understood the assignment. And he was a true company guy, and guys like that usually have a very long shelf life. So he was another guy that found his niche. Now, were there times when we kind of we called it the Miz mid-card vortex? Yeah, but again, he did what they wanted. He gave them what they expected from him. And now they have displaced. They live off the common people, just like all sports and entertainment. And now they have displaced the working class with the elite. Yeah, I mean that's the entertainment industry as a whole, Big Daddy. I really think, and I also think that for a lot of the entertainment industry, though, the checks come and due. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up on a lot of the stuff that's going on in Hollywood or whatnot, but Hollywood's kind of collapsing in on itself. It's kind of eating itself. So, and hopefully, the things that we like will survive, and they'll figure it out and make the adjustments. But we'll see. Yeah, it's interesting. So one of the things, obviously, we had a bunch of releases earlier this year. A couple of them were surprised. Some of them weren't. One of the big ones was, what was it? Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, people that had been there for a while, people that were getting older. But another one was also people that had larger salaries. Had to train that bum. What's his name? Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan in great. Yeah.
Am I okay, Malicino? Of course I am. I'm just still having family issues with my mom, so
yeah, we're gonna help. The guy Frank's got some people helping him. He'll make it through. We got his back. But one of the things that seems to be the major catalyst of this is AEW has a salary cap. And that salary cap seems to be imposed upon them by TKO.
Yeah. And WWE, you said AEW.
Well, WWE, I'm sorry. And that salary cap seems to be imposed by TKO. And as we know, when WWE merged with
UFC,
with Endeavor and UFC, they created the TKO umbrella corporation to kind of take care of a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for both companies. So a lot of the people that did these logistical things and took care of kind of the economy of the company, those people got let go, and those responsibilities were absorbed by Endeavor under the umbrella of TKO. Bob no talk good sometimes. Yeah, can't help it, man.
Bob goes on a rant sometimes.
Yeah, but And I think and so the big thing that a lot of people are going at Hunter for these releases because they're saying that ultimately Hunter is the one who decides who goes. That may be true, but I don't think Hunter decides when someone goes. When someone is has to be released. I think that's a mandate that's being handed down to him by TKO's board. I think, and if you look at they signed three pretty big people this year. They signed they signed Julia, they signed Jordan Grace,
and Stephanie McCour,
and they signed Stephanie McCour, and they also brought back Aleister Black, they brought back Miro, and they've done this over the years. They brought back CM, like was it not quite 2 years ago they brought back CM Punk. About a year and a half ago they brought back CM Punk. That was big, and he got paid.
Oh yeah.
They brought back Andrade, So they picked these people up, and all of those acquisitions happened after WWE got absorbed by TKO. Yeah, right. Mariah May is on her way in. So, and she's probably going to get paid.
Oh, yeah. You can't afford to pay all these people
without letting somebody go.
Not just that, but you can't afford to pay all these people and do nothing with them. Like, you're going to be paying a couple $100,000 to $1 million for somebody just sitting catering all year.
Yeah. Yep. Motor City Machine Guns. They brought them in, and they bought AAA, not CMLL. Yeah, but they made these big acquisitions, and they brought in all these new people. But unlike the days in the past when it was basically Vince saying, "Okay, we'll spend the money on this person," and I'm 100%. WWE had a operating ceiling even when Vince was there, but it was a lot more flexible.
Yeah,
I think.
Forgot about your boys, the Lucha Brothers.
The Lucha Brothers, right? They've spent a lot of money bringing all this new talent in, and the mandate that basically was handed down by TKO was you've got to stay under this, within the range of this this salary cap that we've created. So when you bring all these new people in, somebody has to go. We're going to leave it up to you who it is, but we are telling you got to let somebody go. So ultimately, yes, it is Hunter who's deciding who goes, but he's not deciding when someone goes.
Yeah. I mean, you're bringing in guys like the Dodgers. They bring in Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
Great. But Shohei is taking a roster. It's a 26-man roster, so somebody's got to go. Like, right. You have there's no salary cap, but he's playing a position that somebody else on the team was playing last year is not as good. Got to go.
Right. Or if there's someone that you're looking at, these 4 guys, when you add them up, they aggregately create roughly the same result as this one guy, but between their salaries, they cost a little. They either cost as much or more than this guy. So we can get rid of these 3 or 4 guys and still keep the same statistics. That's what happens like with sports like football and baseball and whatnot. So, but in wrestling, it's, we've got this guy who's like, because Ron Killings is what, he's in his 50s now.
He's 53.
He's 53. And he's actually had and from what I understand, he actually gets paid quite a bit more than the average. So they're looking at that situation, saying, how much longer is this guy going to be around? And as what we're paying him, we need to fit back. We need to get back underneath this salary cap. So what do? You let guys like that go. It sucks. And honestly, I don't think Hunter wanted to do it, I think he still had to. You're gonna be, no, he's not. Dude, I'm not 50. I'm not 53 yet.
And then you also have to look at they're spending all this money bringing this talent in.
Right.
It costs money, and then they're charging us fans out the ass to go see them.
Yeah,
see the event.
That's a whole nother friggin' controversy, man. The amount of money that they're and that is 1,000%. That is the influence of Endeavor. That's something that Endeavor, when Endeavor first purchased and took control of UFC, that's one of the first things that happened is ticket prices skyrocketed. And that's something that Endeavor is really, really bad for. They're really bad for basically sticking it to fans. And that was one of my concerns. If you go all the way back to when we first talked about a couple of years ago, when we found out that they were the ones who were going to be buying WWE, that's one of the things I was concerned about is that, man, fans are going to take it in the shorts with these people.
Yeah. And irregardless, also you get, or not irregardless, but you also got to look at UFC has pending lawsuit against them for fellow fighters. You've got 2 or 3 lawsuits against WWE with Janelle Grant, the Ring Boys.
Yep.
Like, to settle those is going to cost, if they settle them, that's going to cost quite a bit of money.
Well, not only that, but from my understanding is Endeavor is actually operating with somewhere in the area of about $3 billion of debt. Endeavor has not been very smart about the way they've run their businesses. And I also think that's obviously we just had that big controversy with WWE moving WrestleMania from New Orleans back to Las Vegas. I know that they said the reasons why they did it. I think another part of the reason is they know they can get more money by being in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think that's 100% a big part of it as well. And that's the Endeavor thing. I don't like Endeavor. When Endeavor bought UFC, I was not happy about it because immediately the prices of everything went up. The way that they would push talent, fighters, and promote fighters, that became a big think very well about the health and well-being of their talent.
Hey, Malacito, how much are the tickets?
Survivor Series is in San Diego, and I can't afford to go. Dude, I think I actually saw that. I think they said that like ticket prices for Survivor Series jumped up from like $300 like 2 or 3 years ago to something like, for the same seat, it's something like 900 or like well over 1,000. And it's like, holy shit, man. Are you serious? Now, Survivor Series is going to be a little bit more than a regular pay-per-view because it is one of the big 4. But at the same time, how are you going to justify increasing your ticket prices by like 300, 400%? Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's so it's like over. It's over a G, and that's not for the best seats in the house.
Oh no,
that's for decent seats. That's for fairly decent seats. For the best seat in the house, you're probably going to be paying like well over $2 or $3 grand.
No, more than that.
Big Day said, perfect example of why I say today's business isn't for regular folks. Yeah, it seems like they've really, and then this again, this is the influence of Endeavor. They kind of, when it comes to attending events, they kind of try to cater to the more elite, which is kind of bullshit. So, but yeah, so does Triple H shoulder the responsibility for this? I think he shoulders some of it because he does decide who goes, but he's getting a mandate handed down to him by the TKO board saying, we don't care who you cut, but you need to cut enough people to get under this salary cap. So not doing house shows anymore was a big mistake. It was for regular fans who could afford it. Not only that, but even like a lot of the talent there talked about how those house shows were how talent kept themselves in shape. And you know what I mean? Like that was something that Cody brought up, that he said that he felt like AEW needed to, well, it didn't help AEW when they got rid of Dark. Dark was something that AEW truly needed, because Dark was how people got their reps in. Shows like Dark let people get their reps in. It helped them improve, and it just, you know, it helped keep them healthy, and it helped keep them, you know, ready to go. When Cody went back to WWE, he said that was one of the things he liked about WWE is WWE did house shows, and it helped you maintain yourself. Yeah. And then literally less than a year later, WWE got rid of house shows. So now they've got that's gone. Those house shows, a lot of talent who don't get a lot of TV time and whatnot, they were doing those house shows, and that's how they kind of made their money, because that's it. You know, when you're actually in ring and you're doing in ring work, you actually get paid more. So that went away. And also, like you said, the fans lose access to these shows and these stars and you know, this wrestling that they love, because not everybody can go to a pay-per-view, because pay-per-view ticket prices are so much higher than the house shows. So that's just how entertainment is. Is not an excuse. Yeah, no, I agree. But I agree. I think them getting rid of house shows was a mistake, and I think it was a mistake because it's just another way of alienating their fans. Hey, Courtney, how you doing, girl? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Right now, AEW isn't as organized. Yeah, AEW, like a lot of the places where AEW needs to improve is in their back office. I think AEW needs to, like, I honestly think Tony Khan needs to spend. I haven't seen where Tony Khan is spending all this extra money they're getting now. Their production values for the shows have not gone up.
Nope.
Which is one place they really, really need to improve. Their advertising has not really gone up by very much, although you are seeing them show up in more places and whatnot, but not anywhere near to the degree that they need to. They're not reaching out into different fields, into different entertainment media to kind of promote themselves. And I know it's just it doesn't seem like they're working on their behind the scenes issues that they've had. And Thunder Rosa is ROH. Yeah. And then there's also the other thing too, is a lot of their talent are doing projects outside the company, and they're not on TV. And I think that hurts them as well. So we'll see. But yeah, so I was looking at going through here. Like I said, I know that the Miz is through 2025. Dragon Lee is also through 2025. Bailey, her contract ends in like late 2026. I have a hard time believing they're going to let her go, though.
I'm not. I'm really not.
You don't think Bailey? You think Bailey they'll be willing to let Bailey go?
Yeah.
Well, you know, how old is Bailey now? She's not real old. Although a lot of for some reason it seems like the age limit for women is a lot lower than it is for the men. And the men, if you're in your mid 40s and up, there's a good chance that they'll be willing to cut you.
She is 35.
Age. Now you see that some of the people that got let go were in their mid 30s. So, do you think Lee is on the Dragon Lee? They really haven't done anything with him, have they?
and Charlotte is 39. So
Yeah, but Charlotte is their golden girl
for now,
well, yeah, right, for now. And also we know that she's also made it clear that she's not interested in being there forever.
no, and I think they need to start if they want her to tie her dad. If they really want that, they need to start the process soon.
Yeah, and like we'll see.
And the thing with Bailey is where does she fit in? Because you've got Julia, Jordan Grace, Stephanie Vicor, you got Mariah May coming in. You've got all these. You got Tiffany Stratton there. You've got all these younger female wrestlers that are going to shine for the company. You're going to be putting the titles on them. Lyra Valkyrie.
Yeah.
That you're Bailey, you're going to be turning into a Natalia where all you're doing is helping put talent over.
Yeah. And depending on what she wants, she may not be willing to do that.
Right.
Bailey is in Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Oh, dude, there have been a couple of them that have been doing Barnett's shows. Dad said, I spoke with WWE Evolve head scout Gabe Sapolsky? He said to WWE that age is no longer a factor to make it in the business. If you have it, then you will make it. I agree with that, but I also think that when they're looking for a reason to cut people, I think that's one of the first things they're going to look at is how long, what's your longevity and how long do you think they think they're going to be able to use you?
Right.
So looking at, where did it go here? So I'm looking at a list of everybody. So starting in 2023, end of 2023 was when Endeavor was bought, and they started cutting people. The end of 2023 was when they started cutting people with Endeavor in charge, and that's when we had Shelton Benjamin, Edge. They left. And then 2024, a lot of people was when Endeavor really took control, and a lot of people ended up going, and that's when Ricochet left, Beth Phoenix was let go, Bobby Lashley, MVP, Samantha Irving, Baron Corbin, Andy Hartwell, Tegan Knox, and all of those people occupied fairly decent places. But then 2025, things really started getting hit. That's when Blair Davenport, Cedric Alexander, Sonya Deville. What was that? Well, Luke, some people, it actually makes sense because they just weren't being used and they were just kind of there, like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Carmella, Braun Strowman, Cora Jade, Dakota Kai, Gigi Dolan. Some of these people, though, were actually actively getting pushes, and I think that's why R-Truth getting kicked to the curb was so surprising, because he just had a friggin' match with their world champion and in their main storyline in their company. Joe Coffey, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Mickey James was let go. But then R-Truth and Carlito and Sarah Logan was not really a surprise. She wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
But the people that were being let go and the reasoning and whatnot, a lot of them had contracts that were being paid a lot more, and it's clear that Endeavor kind of mandated these people be let go. Now, another big question that a lot of people see here, Courtney said it's a sinking ship. I tell you, I don't know that. Here's the thing: I don't know that WWE is one of those companies that it's almost. I'm not saying it's not possible for them to fail and either go out of business or like have serious restructure problems. But given that they are one of the most recognizable brands in the world and they are still making ridiculous money, I don't know that WWE is ever going to die. I think that they could definitely have highs and lows and have serious problems. I just don't think it's almost impossible to fail for them to fail. Mal said, I smell something burning. I don't know if it's me or the tar truck in front. Dude, be careful. Good Lord, dude. The last thing you need is to do a biff from Back to the Future in the back of a tar truck.
Yeah, no Final Destination again, Maldacito. You had that with the lumber truck last week.
Yeah. But as far as what's going to happen, I know a lot of people are saying, and I know that some people are wanting R-Truth to go to AEW. I don't think him going to AEW is going to help him a lot. He'll get paid if he were to go there, but I don't think it's going to be a big help for him. I think he should go back to TNA. I think if he goes back to TNA, he'll be welcomed as a conquering hero.
Yeah.
He's he was much bigger there. He's a 2-time NWA world champion. That's kind of where he really built himself into the guy that WWE was interested in. As far as Carlito's concerned, I don't know what they do with him, man. I really don't. But I think Truth definitely has a lot more options, and I also think that it's possible that given the reaction people have had, WWE will bring him back in kind of an ambassador role or a Legends contract kind of thing or something like that. Which will mean they'll be able to bring him back at a much lower rate, but it also allows him to go out and do other things. So we'll take a look. I read an article. TKO took Vince's offer to buy W back seriously. They said they would sell it back on one condition. The thing with Vince, though, is that for him to buy it back, and even with how much money Vince now has, he doesn't have anywhere near enough to buy it back himself. He would have to get backing from other corporate entities. And I don't know that Vince has enough stroke to get enough people to back him on that. But then again, there's also the fact that, like I said, TKO are in and actually Endeavor are kind of in a little bit of a problem because I think there's something like $2 to $3 billion in debt. Courtney says The Miz and Gunther quit following WWE. I don't know that Gunther is going to go because I think right now Gunther is one of their top heels.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
I don't think Gunther's going to go anywhere. I'm not going to say it's not possible because we've seen like some people that we thought would never leave did. I just don't see it being very likely. The Miz, I think, is a much bigger possibility because I think he's got a lot more irons in the fire outside of wrestling. And I think, his age is an issue, is a situation. And I also think that if he were to go somewhere else, he would probably do okay. So it remains to be seen. Should have paid for AAA in pesos, not dollars. I hear the Saudis might back him. That's a possibility. That's one of the things I was thinking about. Vince is on really good terms with the Saudi prince. So if anybody's got the pockets to back him, it's them, and it would not put it past Vince to try to make some kind of crazy deal where they actually pay more than Endeavor paid for WWE. And the Saudis become like 49% owners and Vince is 51%. That's about the only scenario I think is possible. But even that I don't know is likely because, like I said, even though WWE's booking and whatnot has been questionable the last like 6 months, that company is still one of the most recognized brands in the world, and
Yes.
they are making money. They're making money hand over fist. So I don't know. I'd have to see a lot more coming out before I make any kind of a prediction. But we're down to about 5 minutes left, guys.
Yeah, and if the Saudis are buying or helping, you know that they're gonna insist that WrestleManias are a rotation or the major pay-per-views over there as well.
Oh yeah.
Seeing there's 5 minutes left, what was your thing now?
We need to make our Money in the Bank predictions.
We do.
I'm gonna come on. Here we go. Updated Money in the Bank matches.
Money.
Okay. This was June 2nd. All right, so match card. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The participants are LA Knight, Andrade, Penta, Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Look in my, what do you see? Who do we think is going to win this?
It said Solo, CM Punk, Rollins.
It's LA Knight, Andrade, Penta, Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk.
No, not CM Punk. He lost.
Wait a minute. No. He didn't lose. What's his name? Sammy lost.
No. Chad Gable, sorry. His Lucha, he won the triple threat match.
Oh wait, no, you're right. See here. What the hell? Wait a minute. Money in the Bank 2025 card. Why did I think CM Punk was the winner? Because you know what I see here. Let's see here. More. Where is the damn? Money in the Bank. Why am I having such a hard time finding the freaking card for this thing? Okay. God damn it. Go away. Men's 2025 Money in the Bank. Oh no, you're right. Okay. Yeah. So it's LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, Solo, Seth Rollins, and Chad Gable.
El Grande Americano.
Oh my God, dude!
It's not Chad Gable.
It says Chad Gable on his boots.
No. Grande Americano borrowed his boots.
Whatever. So who's going to become Mr. Money in the Bank? I think 99% it's going to be Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is, I think, an off chance that Solo Sikoa could win. I don't.
Zero miedo.
I don't think so. America. Yeah, you're right. Americano won the match.
Yeah.
He borrowed them because he was stuck in customs. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's freaking stupid. Oh my God. I think Seth Rollins is gonna win this because I think they are positioned. Basically, Seth and his faction are the new bloodline. I think they're really building them up to be the new power in WWE. And I think, on the outside chance, it might be Solo so that they can build up something between him and Jacob Fatu. I really don't. And maybe there's an outside possibility for Gable.
See, I think Gable and Penta, El Grande Americano and Penta take each other out even to the point of possibly unmasking El Grande Americano.
That's possible. Like I said, I think the smart money is on Seth.
I do too, and with the wild card being Solo, but with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed out there, I'd have to go with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and like I said, and right now they're trying to build them up as the faction to beat.
Yeah.
So I think Seth wins that. Women's
because those guys are coming out. I mean,
oh yeah, like I said, they right now they are the big faction, and for the next couple of months they're going to build them up to be friggin' unstoppable.
Yeah.
So, women's Money in the Bank ladder match: Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vacour. So, Vacour and Julia are the big call-ups from NXT. Naomi is in the storyline between her, Jade Cargill, and
Bianca
Belair. And then Alexa Bliss is kind of like nobody knows what the hell's going on. Out of all of them, my gut's saying Rhea Ripley. Because Rhea Ripley is the biggest star in women's wrestling right now. Outside chance, it's a toss up between Stephanie Vacour and Julia, because I think they would like to establish the two of them on the main roster.
Please don't let it be Naomi.
No, I don't think there's any chance that it's Naomi. I don't think there's any chance that it's Alexa. Roxanne Perez, she's kind of, they're kind of high on her, but I really think Rhea is the biggest star in women's wrestling right now. And I think that, Julia as a call up and Stephanie Vacour, those two, they want to establish them. So they're both going to be big players in the match, but ultimately I think it's Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea is the call. What do you think?
I don't think Rhea needs the briefcase. I really don't think she does. I hate to say Naomi, and because I think Bianca comes out and helps Naomi win the match, possibly. I don't want to see that happen. I really don't. I would rather have Julia win it, especially because I picked Julia to be a champion
by the end of the year.
Champion by the end of the year. Could the whole Wyatt 6 thing with Alexa Bliss start at Money in the Bank? I hope not.
I don't think so.
But
I just think that yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with wow, it's tough. There's just some good women in that ring. I think Roxanne Perez wins it.
I think Roxanne Perez wins it?
Yeah.
All right. I think Rhea has been out of the world title scene long enough that they're like, hey, we need to get her inserted back into this and really start pushing her. So, and because again, capitalize on the fact that she is the biggest women's wrestler in the world right now. But I think on the outside chance, you got Julia and Stephanie Vacour, who they really want to establish on the main roster. So I'm saying 90% Rhea Ripley, 10% either Julia or Stephanie Vacour.
I hate to say it, if it's not Roxanne Perez, it's going to be Naomi, and I don't want it to be.
I just don't see them doing it with Naomi. I could see them trying to pull some shenanigans, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Women's Intercontinental Championship, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch takes this.
She has to.
I think so, yeah. I think to reestablish her and also to give her that that status as being the person who's held every belt.
Yeah, because if Becky doesn't, she can't challenge for the title while Lyra's the champion. If Becky wins, Lyra has to acknowledge her as a new champion.
Right. And I think with Becky coming back, they want to capitalize on her. And I think that's a no-brainer. I think Becky wins.
And to also put some respect, nothing against Lyra, but to put some respect on one of the women's titles.
Yeah. Then the main event, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. I don't know that I'm a big fan of this. I mean, I know Money in the Bank is not one of their big pay-per-views, but why you're not but the fact that Jey Uso is not being it's not a singles match between Jey Uso and Logan Paul or a singles match between John Cena and somebody else, because we know he's not going to drop that belt to Cody Rhodes. This match has no stakes. And more and more and more, it's starting to feel like Jey, even though he is super crazy over, there's not a lot of substance to Jey Uso and his run. It feels like this match does not strengthen him. And the way they're doing Cena as a character is just not, fans are losing interest in that really fast. Like really, really fast. What?
Has one stake in the match.
What's
because
that?
Your men's Money in the Bank winner is going to be determined before this match happens.
That's true. And that's why I think what's going to happen is Seth is going to win. And there's a very real possibility that he's going to cash in on Jey and win. I think that's a real possibility. And then they're going to build a program between Seth and his faction and Jey. And that's why but as far as that match itself is concerned, I don't.
There's no stakes in the match itself, but
yeah, I think
in the
match.
Yeah, in the aftermath, that after the match is over.
Yeah. The thing for me though is, I understand the idea behind this new version of John Cena, the character. I just don't think it's working. And I know that part of the reason why they're having him do this, I'm not going to give you anything, I'm not here to entertain you, or et cetera, is because if they just let him cook on the mic, he's going to friggin' kill it. He's going to cook everybody. Okay? Because one place where Cena was, you cannot deny that Cena was just a freaking master, was on the stick. And so, and they don't want him getting over on because they're like, well, we don't want people cheering him. He's the heel. That's stupid. Okay, fine. I understand that. But at the same time, he's boring right now. He's freaking boring right now. You need to let him be the heel that everybody loves to hate. Okay? That is, yes, people are going to cheer him. That doesn't mean you have to turn him face just because they're cheering him. He can still be the bad guy and people like him. That's what happened. That's the mistake they did with MJF. Law, the most overused word in today's IWC. Hey, man, you got to use the terminology that people are using so that they understand you. All right. I personally think that Cena on the stick is just, he's going to obliterate everybody.
The doctor of thugonomics. Come on.
Right. And that's the character they want him to be. They want him to be this cocky, over the top, entertaining a-hole.
Then bring The Rock out.
Don't even get me started on that. Hey, I got to do something to impress the chillins. But I've got Cody and Jay winning this just because it doesn't matter. And it I guess kind of provides a little bit of drama to Cody versus John. We'll see. But I think that this main event is just a throwaway.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cody and Jay win, and then there's a beatdown after.
Yeah.
Possibly, if you don't have Braun and Bronson Reed come out in the men's match, it's possible they come. If Seth wins, it's possible they come out after the match and beat down Jey Uso, and Seth comes running out with his briefcase.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that that's a real possibility, but we'll see. Because then again, WWE has been on the we're just going to drag things out path, and we'll see though. That would definitely make things interesting though, and actually put some importance onto the match. But anyway, guys, there's our predictions. We'll see. I don't know who's going to be watching the show. I'm really interested. I'm interested in the men's ladder, the Money in the Bank, and the women's Money in the Bank. Don't really care about the other two matches, but we'll see.
And we didn't even do predictions for Worlds Collide, but I don't even know who's in the match.
I honestly do. Worlds Collide. I don't think anything major is going to happen. Yeah, Big Daddy said Jay is over AF with the fans and overrated as a worker. Yeah, and honestly, that kind of feels the way that a lot of people are being treated in WWE right now. A lot of them are like a lot of symbolism and zero substance. But we'll see. We'll see going forward. But anyway, guys, appreciate everyone being here. If you like this content, hit like, subscribe, follow us on social media. And put the word out and help us grow this thing. Appreciate everyone who's here. Big Daddy, Maldacito, Leg Kick, Courtney, everybody that was lurking. Appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good one, guys. Bye. Maybe I should hit the right freaking button. They move my shit around all the time. Where it's supposed to be is not where it's supposed to be.
Woo!
Have a good day. Have a good week, guys.